All right, so this morning I have a real estate shoot. You know how there's like tons of shows on Netflix that just have beautiful homes in real estate? I'm kind of obsessed with them and I binge watch all of them. About 3 years ago, I started shooting real estate and I used those shows as a form of inspiration for me and the way I like to shoot the homes that I'm focusing on. So when it comes to packing for these real estate shoots, I usually set everything out on my desk and then go that way about packing with a checklist I have on my phone. I switched up the schedule a bit and I'm going to shoot my locations first. So the first step I want to talk about is the pre-production. This is the step that ensures you'll have a clean, on time, and on budget production. And with that, a good relationship with your client, learning what they want and what you're working with as the production company or production person. I touch on it a ton with how important pre-production is. For real estate, what I'm talking about in this video, I keep it real simple. The home, the drone, and the surrounding area. When it comes to the home, the most important things to learn off the bat is the square footage, how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms, is there an outdoor area? How big is the front yard? And once I figure all that out, I can sort of come together with a rough shot list of what I'm looking for in each room and how I'm gonna move throughout the home. With doing that, it ensures that you don't go into the shoot completely blind, and it's almost like you're not walking into the house for the first time. The drone is key to any shoot, especially with real estate, because when it comes to getting a home, your surrounding area is so important. And I preach about it, but once you get that bird in the air, have an idea of how you're going to shoot with the drone and how these shots are going to impact your story. And then finally, the surrounding area. This is important for me and something new I've been doing with one of my clients. Coffee shops, libraries, the closest train or bus station, gyms, essential and beneficial amenities. And those are ultimate steps of what the brief becomes. And I work through all of that in Notion. The next step is probably the most important step, and it's the shoot. I tend to find inspiration through reference. For me, what's important is focal length, the way I'm moving in and out of rooms and scenes. And I do that in shot deck, frame set, or just YouTube. I'm able to find inspiration of shots I like, reference those, and start to build a storyboard that way. So when it comes to the actual shoot day, I have an idea of really what I'm going for. For me, what I've learned, especially with this shoot and all of my past shoots, is the wider the lens, the better. I've previously shot most of my real estate shoots on a 16 to 35 millimeter. And for this shoot, for the first time, I rented a 14 millimeter Sony lens and shot the widest I've shot. And it's a hack. And plus, it's a beneficial that it's small, it's lightweight, it's full frame, and it has a 1.8 aperture. When it comes to shoots, and you see it a lot with this shoot, is I like to play with natural shadows. I don't light any of the homes I shoot in because I want the image coming out of the camera to be what you're gonna feel if you're walking into the house for the first time. And for me, lighting these types of scenes could go a long way, but I feel like it takes away from the real feel of the home. And I feel when you're going to purchase something and you're almost doing like a sales pitch to someone, you don't want to light an entire room and then the client walks in there to go to buy the house and the room's completely dark. So that's kind of a personal decision I've made when it comes to shooting these homes. And then the way I shoot, I love to play with clean foreground shots. And what I mean by that is I like to reveal places in the home. That's why you'll see I'll play a lot with revealing off of walls or stairs or all those things. I like to show movement. And this is the first shoot I was able to go completely handheld. I completely ditched the Ronin, and with the 14 millimeter and how wide it is and how good the in-body image stabilization is on the FX3, I was allowed to go completely handheld, and I'm kind of been nerding out lately on just the handheld look. It just seems a lot more natural to me, and I feel like the Ronin look is a little bit overused at this point. Like I said earlier, the 14mm is just a gift. If I were to ever get a 14mm lens, it would be probably something in the cinema glass world, so I can naturally have that soft look and get it out of camera. And then we have the drone, and I have my Part 107 license, so for me, putting a drone up is a must. And side note, if you want to learn how I studied for that test, because it is probably the hardest test I've ever taken, let me know down in the comments below. First thing is check your local drone rules and just follow them. The reason drone rules are so strict is because of irresponsible pilots. That's really why the drone rules are so strict in the US. But for this flight with the location I was shooting, I actually got instant approval for 400 feet, which 500 is the max, so being able to fly at 400 was something that I've not been able to do in a long time. But I preach this, and I preached it earlier. Have a reason to fly. Have a reason, have a shot list, have how you're gonna move with the drone, and don't just put it up, hit record, and see what you get. Have a reason, because you can tell in a good story when a drone shot is forced and when a drone shot is meaningful. But when it comes to the shot list, I always have the types of moves I'm gonna do. It's simple, but it's effective for the story, and these shots usually act as establishers inside of my real estate films. Next up is the surrounding area, and something I always offer with my packages is capturing key locations around the home. For these surrounding area shots, I always have a focus on shooting extremely wide and then also shooting extremely tight. And I usually try to keep it at real speed, at least the wide lens, so I can really get a real feel for what the area is. And then sometimes it just makes sense to shoot some scenes off speed. And with this shoot, it really made a lot of sense to shoot off speed because I was doing a lot of logo revealing and just movement. And usually I have to talk myself out of shooting off speed for these types of shoots because with the surrounding areas, I really want to focus on noise, but I didn't want to focus it so much on this one just with how the edit was starting to build in my head and how a lot of the pre-production went. So as I do preach how important the sound is, sometimes you can shoot an off speed to get something a little bit more artsy and do some sound design after the fact. All right, so I just finished shooting and I'm actually going to get a coffee right now. I have about a 30-minute drive home and a cold brew just sounds like it'll hit the spot. But I actually stayed ahead of schedule during the shoot, which is kind of rare for filmmaking altogether. It's 1:30, I just got back. It is time to drop all of the footage. And then finally we jump into the edit, and I've made a lot of real estate videos and almost every one has been different except for the last couple. And I've really tried different ways of editing these videos to be different. I mean, I started out editing these like I'd edit a football hype video and just have something real quick, lots of speed rants, speed, and momentum, and really feel like you're moving through the house. I've shot it like it was an FPV drone moving through the house. I've shot many ways, but the bread and butter I keep coming back to is slow and cinematic. For me, when I watch back these videos and when I see the videos I like when it comes to looking at houses, I want to take in every single room. I want to be on a shot for a long time. I don't want to anticipate when the next shot is going to happen. And I think for me, with that being such a simple way of editing, I think you really get to hone in on how you shoot it. And I always preach how the story comes together in the pre-production and the edit. But for this one, it really comes together in the pre-production and the shoot. The shoot is such a crucial part for this because the way you shoot it is really how the edit comes out. For me, finding my style within these shoots were real important, and I was able to find it. I use a lot of foreground to reveal rooms. I do a lot of rack focusing, and I move across space a ton. And not just moving left to right, you'll see me move across the bottom of things. I always like to have a reference point of something I'm moving across, so there's always constant movement. And I said it a little bit earlier, but this was the first shot I did not rely on the Ronin and I went completely handheld, and I really did love the look of it. The final step in all of this, which I find the most fun being able to edit in Davinci Resolve, is the color grading process. When shooting this, I've learned how crucial the white balance is and you want to shoot these shots where you're not doing that much in post to fix them. And I've learned a lot of that has to do with the white balance in these homes. You're either in a real white room with 5600, or you're in something that is at like 2300, like a bathroom, and you really have to play with your white balance to make sure room to room, it's as natural and as accurate as the room is to the eye. And I've learned that really through trial and error. But doing that and bringing it into the process, you have a lot of fun color grading. You can really pull so many colors out of this while you're shooting in S-Log3, and I've had a fun process in being able to do that, and it's helped in so many areas of kind of my filmmaking and being able to color these clips and really practice and hone in on accurate and natural colors. Now, I'm by no means any expert in real estate cinematography or real estate editing, but I'm finding my style in these edits, being able to do them and take reps in doing them. And it's been fun, and it's been fun to be able to have a trial and error process that I can see results at the end of the day with. All right, but I've been working like 14 days straight between freelance, YouTube, and Seahawks, and I just need a breather. So if you've not had the chance yet, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss an upload, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.